But it's really just kind of a dangerous and a fluid situation because we've got flames going all over the place. In fact, let's get to
Emily Maher right now. Speaking of flames, she is on the ground with the latest. Emily.
Lisa Golston, we're here. You're taking a look at Interstate I-80. This is the fire that has moved its way onto the highway right now. You're looking at I-80 westbound, traffic at a standstill, flames coming up next to the vehicles on the road. The smoke is so black, it is so dark, it is tough to see those vehicles. I can see an 18-wheeler, I can see a pickup truck, but further than that, I can't see any more cars. They are crawling on I-80. This is Cherry Glen Road at I-80 westbound, and the flames are just tearing through the dry grass onto the interstate right now. Our photographer, Mike Carroll, taking a look, giving you the best vantage point that we can get to safely at this point. This fire is hot and it is burning right onto the interstate right now. We know that crews had closed the off ramps of I-80 near Fairfield. This is near Vacaville. We are just outside of Vacaville and the flames have jumped the interstate. Lisa Golston, I'm going to send it back to you.
Yeah, and we want to make sure that you guys are in a safe area, but if it's not safe for you to be there, then just get out of that area because we could see the flames going over Interstate 80, and that was at Cherry Glen.
Yeah, just right outside Vacaville. And here, this is Mike Carroll, one of our veteran photographers, right on top of the flames here. He's on that overpass there. He is over I-80. This is the freeway that's been shut down, and the fire is burning right up to the freeway. Of course, we are hoping that the freeway will provide somewhat of a fire break to let these cars through, but look at that, it's burning right up next to the freeway.
Yeah, I really think they should just get out of there at this time because it's just really close. And you can see now that the smoke's starting to clear how close that came to the cars. I mean, you're watching it with us, and that's just dangerously close, and it just taking over the trees right now.
Well, that's the problem too. When it gets in the trees, then it can jump. That's how it can jump the freeway, because then you have embers that are being pushed along by some of the winds that are created by all of that heat, and it can just jump right to the other side of the freeway. So we're going to stay with this as long as Mike stays with it. Mike, of course, it's your call out there. We're following your lead, and I haven't seen anything quite like this in our years of covering fires.
No, and you should know our photographer that's bringing us these pictures is extremely experienced and wearing safety clothing, but it's not a safe situation right now. So that when we were mentioning why they're closing parts of Interstate 80, I mean, this is what we're talking about. And she said that this is this is Cherry Glen. I'm sure you're very familiar with the Cherry Glen exit. That's the overpass there, and this is the winds just take it, and they just take these flames and they move so quickly and just burn through everything. I mean, that's where he was standing just seconds ago. So Emily Maher is leading him out of there, which I wholeheartedly agree with that decision to get out of the area. It becomes so smoky that then it's just not a safe situation to even be standing out there. Other cars can't see you. It's just, and look at, there are a ton of cars. Yeah, there's some cars there.
There was a tanker out there. They're in some good company right there with some other firefighting crews. So at least they are with a group of people who are knowing what they're doing. There is somebody there with probably an animal trailer, horses or other type of livestock, trying to get the heck out of there before things get too hairy. We heard Emily say, let's go, let's go. Mike says, okay. And they are back from where the fire was burning, but we can still see this active scene still playing out as they try to figure out what to do next, how to attack the flames here, because they just move so fast with the winds that are created in these conditions, and the flames can easily run up a hillside and easily jump right over a freeway.
Yeah, and we're still bringing you these live pictures from, it's called a backpack essentially, and it allows them to go live from anywhere. Now we're going to go back to Live Copter 3 again. This is an aerial view that we bring you exclusively here on KCRA-3. Going back down to the ground now in our photographer's car with Emily Maher. And wow, we're going to take these pictures for a while just because it's very telling. This gives you an idea of what it's like when people are, very close to the flames trying to evacuate and how quickly things can change. We say it over and over again, but this is what it looks like. And both Golston and I reported for years, and we've both been in this type of a situation, and it's just very scary because one second you're standing far away from the flames, and the next second they're very close to you.
All right, let's go to Stephanie Lynn right now, who is also covering this fire. She's on the ground around. And let's talk about what the situation is with the closure of 80.
This is KCRA-3. We begin with breaking news.
That breaking news, Solano County, new evacuations underway right now as fires rage out of control. Those flames jumping Interstate 80. I-80 closed in Fairfield right now because of visibility concerns. Dozens of homes in Solano County already gone. Many more homes in danger right now. We have live team coverage for you tonight, and let's go ahead and begin with KCRA-3's Emily Maher, who was in Vacaville, had to move when the fire jumped Interstate 80. So Emily, where are you right now exactly?
Lisa Golson, we are standing on the overpass of I-80. This is I-80 westbound. You can't even see it here behind me because the smoke is so thick. This is where we saw the flames jumping up, crossing the interstate just a little while ago. If you look right through in between these trees, you can see the slow-moving traffic, the flames creeping up through the grass onto the interstate here. Take a look at how this is where the fire has crossed the interstate, heading over on this side over the overpass and making its way across I-80 now. You can see not a lot of traffic right now, but it is very slow moving. You can see those flames. They're hot, hot, hot flames. Bright orange flames heading right toward the interstate. But I want to just give you an idea of how quickly this fire is spreading. Earlier today, we were right over here and these hills were golden. Today, right now in this moment, they are black. The fire has moved very, very quickly over the last 30 minutes, gone right through this, right to the interstate. And you can see the black smoke here behind me, the flames kicking up back over there as people try to make their way out of this area into a safe place. Reporting live, Emily Maher, KCRA-3 News.
All right, Emily, thank you. Just incredible pictures out there. You guys stay safe. Now, let's go to KCRA-3's Emily Maher, who is live just east of where Walter is, and we can see behind you, it just looks like it's so strange what the smoke and the light behind you looks like, Emily.
Yeah, you know, it's what, 5:30 in the afternoon, and it feels like it could be the middle of the night. There's an orange glow here behind me. We can hear something happening over here behind us, maybe crews working right to our right. There's just fire way in the distance. You can see some flashing lights down there. Not sure what that noise was, but crews are working nonstop. We're here. This is the off ramp of I-80 westbound. You can see the fire behind, the off-ramp to I-80 westbound. You can see the fire here behind me. This is where it burned through down toward the interstate, jumping over it, and you can't see it now because the smoke is so thick, but the fire has jumped the interstate. It is burning on both the westbound and eastbound sides of I-80, and I want to show you some really incredible video that our photographer Mike Carroll picked up just a little while ago. This is when the flames were coming down in full force, making their way down the hill close to the interstate, hopping over the overpass and burning right down to the interstate. It was absolutely incredible to watch those flames just flying right up in the air, taking anything that was in its way, all of this dry brush and trees, very conducive to a quick, fast, hot wildfire. Lisa Golson, I'll send it back to you.
Yeah, just amazing pictures there, and we're so far, it's our understanding that everyone has been able to get through that area.
Yes, and let's go back to Emily because you know we have so many questions, Emily, right now. Are you seeing firefighting personnel, and does it look like people are still trying to evacuate at this time? Are you seeing residents or just mostly firefighters?
So Lisa, let me tell you, I'll give you a little bit of some context for what we've experienced out here. We got to this spot around 1:30 this afternoon. When we got here, everything was fine. It was okay. There were fires burning in the distance. They had roads to dangerous areas blocked off. But between 1:30 and now, everything has changed. This fire has moved right down. In the middle of that time frame, that's when we started to see a lot of people packing it up, getting their things. Around 4 o'clock, some were still hanging out near this intersection, watching the fire as it was coming down the hill. A lot of people here have property, and they were just looking to make sure that their property was going to be okay, that this fire wasn't going to be heading in their direction. So we did see people out here until about 4 or 5 o'clock, but right at 5 o'clock, that's when we started to see the fire really start pushing through, and that's when people started to leave. And that is when we started to see, I saw 3 fire trucks come zooming out. They zoomed out a road, Lion Road, right over here. They came up Cherry Glen, crossed over Lagoon Valley Road. They were heading somewhere. These crews have been working nonstop. Lisa?
Wow, and we can see just, you know, how fast this happens. We're also seeing, I don't know if you can see it, Emily, through the smoke, but the fire is actually burning the bushes, maybe some of them oleander bushes, right in the median of Interstate 80 right now.
Yeah. Lisa, take a look at that median right there, right in the middle of the interstate. You can see, I'm not sure if you guys can see it because of all the smoke, but where the smoke is a little bit darker, there, the flames are kicking up right now.
So
kicking up right now. We're feeling, there's a fire truck. You look for those fire crews, there they are.
This has got to be the most frustrating thing for the crews because of so much smoke, it's hard for them to attack from the air when they can't exactly line up their targets because of the smoke covering everything. So yeah, you just have basically all of these tankers and these other trucks literally having to scramble from one hot spot to another, Emily.
It is incredibly difficult to see out here. You cannot see very far. You cannot see where the fire is burning. You can see the smoke, but the smoke is everywhere. So you can only imagine how incredibly challenging it is for crews. Again, we're hearing some noise happening over here. So Lisa Golson, I'm going to send it back to you guys right now. We're going to go try to figure out what's happening over here. Yeah, and obviously just make sure that you're safe. Thank you so much for bringing us those live pictures there from the ground. And really, I mean, if you don't know what it's like being up close to a fire, that is exactly what it's like. That's what people are going through when they're trying to evacuate.